Do birds suddenly appear every time you are near? Just like me, they long to be close to you.
Hello, everybody. This is Dr. Willie Jolley.
And this is Dee.
And we're the authors of the book. Hey, I ain't got no book. Okay. Tell them what the author of the book is.
Make love, make money, make it last.
How many secrets?
It's more than two.
It's more than two?
More
How
than
many?
5.
It's more than 5?
More than 7.
More than 7?
10 secrets.
10 secrets. 10 secrets. 10 secrets.
For shaping a great marriage. And it really comes down to, everything comes down to how you communicate. It really does.
We're glad to be back from our travels. Y'all, we've been gone. And we're jumping back in here. We're back in time to do the night show. So we are glad to be here. This is the book. And we are grateful for all of you who continue to tell your friends and family members about it. Thank you. Please do continue. And please continue to go get the free resources we have for you on the Jolley Marriage site. The free chapter from the book, the biggest chapter. Some other resources.
Communication is really everything.
Communication. We had a conversation with somebody this week, or I did, who is having issues in his marriage that are simple, but it's a lack of communication. And
was that the one you were telling me about a couple of days ago? I think.
Hold on. Correct. That's it. And so communication, if we could just get people to communicate together.
But I think communication is like the umbrella, but there's so much that goes into that. You cannot communicate. What does it mean to communicate? To share your thoughts, your vulnerabilities, your successes, your failures, to be vulnerable. And I think it's very hard to do that if you're insecure. And then most people won't admit they have insecurities.
Here we go. You're telling the reason why people do that, something this, and you're calling it insecure.
I know that.
Okay. You and I have told you on more than one occasion.
I ain't listening.
You obviously are not listening. I don't know the reason why they do what they do. You're giving them a reason. You're saying they're insecure. I don't know that they.
Their temperament that they're born with, like you're loud, and I'm not.
So
some of it is the culture, the environment that you were born into, how they behave in the family, how they handle arguments or disagreements, or how they.
So you don't know which one it is. It could be this. It could be that. It could be the other.
And
so it doesn't.
Insecurities.
So you cannot say it's because of the insecurity. You can only say, here's what they did.
I summarized it for them.
No, you haven't. What you have done is you've made an assumption of why they do what they do. And I say, I don't know why they're doing it. I have no idea.
So once
I can guess.
Once we ask enough questions, we can find out.
Greg and Linda are watching from the new patio fire pit. They got a new patio fire pit. Wow. Oh, wow. Ron Lewis is joining in. Thank you for saying awesome nuggets. Let's see. Lots of folks here on Instagram. We've had a little problem with one of our Instagram platform channels. So, but we at least got another that we.
Thank you for joining us. All right, let's get to the meat.
Ooh, when you touch me back there,
your
makes me Okay, all right. So let's talk about today's issue: passive-aggressive relations or passive-aggressive actions toward the in-laws and vice versa. Ooh.
Just give the backstory.
Okay, here's the backstory. And we always encourage you to send us an email.
They know that. Just get to the story.
How do they know that this is their first time coming? See,
They know.
that again. That
Just tell the story.
no, you don't understand because you're not in radio. Just get to it. And radio, you have to assume people coming on.
Now you can assume, but I can't assume.
You must assume that people are not all joining at the same moment.
Okay.
And therefore, and you must assume that some of the people who are watching are first timers.
Okay.
So you must let them know who we are. We are the Jolleys, Willie and Dee. What we do. I'm a professional speaker. This book was a outlier because of our son saying all his friends wanted to know how he could have parents who don't argue. We wrote a book, Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last.
I'm a back office boss.
Okay, that's who you are. And so the book
And a
now
kept woman.
is a bestseller. Yes, you are.
And a hardworking employee and partner. How about
Yes.
that? I wear many different
hats. So the book is something we recommend every couple get. Every couple needs to have 2 copies, one for each of you to read together and make notes on your own and then discuss. Those are things. So go to jolleymarriage.com. We invite you every week.
So jolleymarriage.com on YouTube. Is that right?
No, jolleymarriage.com is our website. You put the book
so
of Jolley.
So how do they get us on YouTube?
The Jolley Marriage Show on YouTube. The Jolley Marriage Show.
I was trying to tell Vanessa this evening because she didn't know.
See, Ron
what?
Lewis Jr. said, love y'all's personality. This is my first time viewing. Thank you, Ron.
Oh, you just saved him from problems later on.
From Jacksonville, Florida. So glad you're here. Come every week, 9:00, Monday nights. Tell your friends, family members. Anyway, we encourage everybody to get 2 copies of the book. And we encourage everybody to go to our website.
Now, why 2? Well, okay.
Why 2 copies?
Because you read at different rates.
You read at different rates.
And then you can answer the questions at the end of the chapter separately.
Correct.
And then come together and discuss.
That's correct.
Because you might be surprised at how different your answers are, but you managed to come to the same conclusion. But how you got there might be very different.
Correct.
Right. So that's why it's important to have your own copy so that you can.
And you can write in the margins. You can make notes.
There's
you can highlight.
There's something about writing what it does to the brain in terms of helping you summarize.
That's correct. You're doing good.
Oh, now you're going to be nice. Humor will save your marriage.
Okay. All right. So we encourage
communication is the future.
We encourage you to send emails. So let me give you the one that we're dealing with today. The one we're dealing with today is about
in-laws.
For 30 years, I've been nice to my in-laws, and I'm tired of keeping the peace. Woo!
Why you gotta add that part?
Because this is deep. Because a lot of folk are in, and we have over the years dealt with in-law issues, but this
is a very specific.
This one is a little different. So I've been married to my husband for 30 years, and it's a 3rd marriage for both of us. Wow.
That's a while.
That's a while in the first place.
You think how old they must be to be on
That's what I thought. The 3rd marriage for both of them, and then they've been married for 30 years.
So if they got married, let's say they got married in their 20s, and they had
married and divorced in their 20s.
So they have to be in their 50s or at least their 60s.
I was thinking in their 60s.
Okay.
I have been being nice for 3 decades with I'm still judgmentally. I am judgmental about the values and behaviors of my in-laws. I've been being nice for 3 decades, and I'm running out of energy to maintain the facade. We are several steps more progressive than my husband's family. He is relatively content with his stabilization role as scapegoat to the extended family. So they make fun of him as scapegoat. They talk about him. If he's the scapegoat, that means that she's tired of just letting them talk bad or okay.
But I have an issue with she said she's judgmental.
Yeah,
So,
that is.
so first of all,
I am judgmental about the values and behavior of my in-laws.
What right does she have to be judgmental about them?
You're absolutely right.
And now she's complaining
because they're judgmental of them, of her. Woo! I told you this is a woo. Okay. He is aware of this and disappointed, but the few times he has tried to mildly step out of role, one or more of the dynasty has been freaked out or drop on him like a ton of bricks.
I don't even know what that means. What
Let me read that again. In all the years of this, he is aware and is disappointed, but the few times he had tried to mildly step out of role, one or more of the dynasty has either freaked out or dropped on him like a ton of bricks.
Okay, I think
his multi-generational thick skin is thinning, and now their meanness toward him hurts rather than rolling off the duck's back. I am resentfully resigned, yet determined to manage my own feelings but I am confused about one area. As the loyal wife, not the alienated third wife in a toxic family situation in which I have cordial, but let's see what she's trying to say, insincere relationship with people who are superficially okay with me. Do I lean toward ignoring the million microaggressions toward both of us and just leave the room when it goes too hot? A close mutual friend has experienced the pattern close up and offers 2 comments. She doubts anyone is fooled by my being nice, so as I have a rubber face. So her face says it all. Okay, have a rubber face. She also thinks husband might have headed off this dynamic if he had put his foot down 40 years ago as the insecure divorced dad out. But it's a bit
mercy, Willie.
But the insecure divorced dad out. I don't know what a dad out is, but it's a bit late now. I am confused. What do I do? Wow. Isn't that a wow, folks?
Okay. Simple. You support your husband. Keep the family peace and harmony. Because your husband is number one. And you protect your peace. Now you say, well, okay. How do you do that? Well, first of all, it's your mindset. You can decide whether or not you're going to participate in the drama.
Well, how about if the drama's towards is focused toward you and your husband, or your husband and you?
And you can decide at which activities you will participate. It's kind of like my mother was one of the most gracious, wonderful people. She was first lady. My father was pastor. She learned to be above the fray. So-and-so said, you don't have to respond to everything. That's something else I had to learn. Okay, so difference in reacting versus responding in a tactful manner. You can choose how you are going to respond to what they say. And sometimes there are activities where you are not available.
Mm-hmm. Okay. My friend Greg Kazera, who's been married 50 years to his beautiful bride, Linda, has just sent in a message that says, wow, why did they let things go so long?
You know what? I think they like to drama. Some people like drama. Some people see everything as them versus us.
That could be it, but let me tell you what I think it is.
What?
That could be it. Okay, they like drama till they don't like it. Okay, I think what it is, Greg, the reason they went so long, because people aren't willing to have critical, courageous conversations.
Okay,
I think they let it go. hoping it'll get better, and it just gets worse. And then they are not willing to have that critical, courageous conversation and say to people, you've hurt my feelings.
I like that word. Critical, crucial. That's the name of a book. Crucial Conversations.
Crucial is another one.
How do you have that? And you know what?
And it takes courage to have it.
And courage. And I think that we don't have the words. We're feeling, but we don't have the right words to use to convey what we're thinking without offending.
Well,
and that's an art too.
It is an art. We were in a situation just yesterday when someone at a conference we were at said to someone who is a very dominant kind of personality, something that offended that person, and could have said it so much nicer and gotten the same.
She didn't.
So my friend Daphne Jones just jumped in. Afraid of confrontation. That's right. Thank you for that.
So it goes on until you explode.
Right. Reacting and not responding. You're absolutely right. So what I'm saying, you got to have critical, courageous, or critical, crucial, courageous conversation.
I like critical. Critical means it's so important.
Well, critical and crucial. That's right. They're pretty much the same. But it's courageous. You got to have the courage to say to somebody, you've hurt my feelings, or I'm offended by that, or
I prefer not. Sometimes you have to say, you know what? I prefer not to talk about that.
Oh no.
Yes,
no, we disagree on this.
Just like okay.
I disagree with the point.
We can disagree.
We must confront
the conference we were at this weekend. I haven't even had a chance to tell you about that. But some information. I said, but we don't need to even talk
some
about
stuff.
That.
Is dredging. I understand dredging something from the past, but here's what you do need to. If your feelings are hurt and you've been offended, you cannot say put that off. You must deal with that, and it's uncomfortable.
Talking about the feelings being hurt.
No, that's what I'm talking about. Your feelings are hurt. You've been offended. This woman says that these people have been doing microaggressions for years, and her husband had just let it like a water off. They let it. Off the duck, back off the duck. They let it. Yeah, they did, and now that has stand out.
Maybe. Do you think it's possible that the in-laws didn't really know that they were being?
That's possible. That's why you have to confront and make them aware of it. Absolutely. When you have a issue that is hurtful, it is critical that you civilly go back to our 4Fs. You be friendly. You be frank about how something made you feel. You be fair. Why do you do that? Why did you say that?
You know what I think first?
And then focus on a win-win. So friendly, frank, fair, focus on win-win.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay, some specific strategies. May I offer some specific?
You may. I'm sure you've done some detailed research. And let me tell y'all something. She wanted to share with me her points in advance. I said, no, I like the spontaneity
because we're so different
of hearing it right now. So I can give you my first off the cuff thought. Go ahead.
Okay.
Give me your practical advice. Okay.
Align with your partner, your mate first.
Align with the mate first, your spouse first.
So what does that mean? And I can think of, you're going into a lion's den, uncomfortable family situation. And as we prepare last quarter holidays, this is going to come up. Because sometimes you have to be with people. Family gathering is like, so-and-so. Okay, what do? You decide before you go. The husband.
Well, y'all, if there's something we have to agree, we're going to address this. If it comes up, which it will.
Right. Or we have our united front and our conversation of how we will be before we go to eat.
I agree. Okay.
And then you have signals of what is uncomfortable. It's like with us, because you're so extroverted and I'm like not. And we go to these different functions And we have signals when I've said, okay, I've had enough.
Yeah,
I say, I have no more words, Willie. And then that lets him know, oh, I've got to wrap this up. Because she's about ready to turn into a wallflower. I no energy left. Right. So you might have to it's good to have signals, your own private language, so you guys can say important stuff without other people really understanding what the issue is.
Okay.
And then you can also agree on how much time you're going to spend at the event. You say, okay,
well,
we're out for.
I don't like that.
But we do that.
Yeah, but here's the difference. If you're at a place where people are offensive, and you're saying we're only going to spend a little, but there are times.
I didn't say a little. I said you decide on how much time. So
but if this is an ongoing family,
feeling of finality to say, okay, this is 3 hours. I will put on my armor, and for those of you, put on the armor.
Okay, I see what you're saying now. Okay, I can live with that, but I would prefer to. We do this often. We go to a place where we don't spend a lot of time, not because we don't like them. It's just that we make an appearance, and then we got to go on.
There might be a lot on our plate.
We often have a lot. We got a lot all the time.
So it can be work. You want to talk to it. You don't want to. In our case, we don't want to offend anybody.
Right.
So it's. Did I see? I want to make sure that I've said hello to everybody, because some people get offended.
Yes.
Totally unintentional.
Unintentional.
So we want to make sure that we say hello to everybody, because they're important to us.
Right.
But sometimes we're on this treadmill. Okay, now we have to go over here. And that is also because of the kind of business that we're in.
Yes.
And it's a relational business. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Then, so now we've got, as a couple, we're on the same page as to behavior, time frames, all that. All right.
Okay.
The next, what constitutes setting boundaries for politeness? How are we actually going to behave when the difficult conversations or the aggressions occur? How should we behave?
So let's dig in there for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So, the ma'am who wrote this letter, here's what we're saying to you: that you got to prepare for the aggression, because this is something.
Well, you've been doing it. It's been coming
all
for
these
30
years.
years.
For 30 years, you see it. And how are you going to respond without losing your cool? Okay.
So you're going to have. I think you need to memorize certain phrases. You know, I had
a lot, such as, okay, why don't you give me what that means? I don't know what that means.
Oh, thanks for sharing your views.
Yeah, that's one thing. That's one thing that would be good, that you just go and not make a statement. You don't give a nod up or side.
Oh, excuse me. Let me go speak to. I got to go speak to. Oh, I forgot to say. For me, I had to learn to prepare certain standard answers to extricate. How about that word?
That's good.
To extricate myself from certain situations because they were going in the wrong direction. Don't want to offend anybody. Don't want them to say. And that's something else I learned the hard way. That always the telling all of the information is not beneficial. I think one of the most painful experiences I ever had. You were traveling ahead of me. You were doing a network marketing something or other. I was in my, okay, here's a detail. 1, 2, here, 20 things you got to do, time frame. But they loved Willie. They hated me. Why? They did. And I was just so crushed later, days, weeks later, with the evaluation. We loved Willie. We hated his wife. That's basically what they said.
That's pretty basic how they said it. Yeah.
Because I'm focused on, got to ship this there. Who's receiving this? What's okay?
Who you said who's managing? And it was.
They took my business demeanor and no nonsense as I don't want to deal with her, right? So that was a major and that I needed to then check myself. So inside of me, I'm like, 1, 2, down to 20. But that's not how it comes out of my mouth. So I know if I can learn to adjust my tone, adjust how I approach different kinds of people, so then I've got to assess what kind of person I'm dealing with quickly.
So
normally,
could that be translated or transferred to relationships? Ma'am, sir, you're having some issues. There's an offense. Can you adjust yourself, or can you have that critical conversation that's courageous in a way that's not offensive or creates more problems?
And sometimes it is necessary that you've got to make, that's a split judgment. Because when we go in and we meet somebody we haven't met before, I won't say they're strangers, but they're immediately not a stranger. How are you? How can I be of help?
But here's another thing too. People are always looking at you.
Yes.
They're always looking at how you will react or respond.
And sometimes what they see is not what is. Like I have got, okay, so things that people say to you, and it gets a smile. I hadn't heard your husband speak before. This was at a church function. Things that I remember. I hadn't heard your husband speak. I didn't know who he was. And then, but I watched you. They said you were the wife. So I watched you and how you reacted. So I guess he's kind of genuine because they're watching me and my reaction to him. So that goes, you never know who is watching.
Okay, let me give a few more things.
You need to be
and in this responses to this letter.
Okay.
What we recommend is 1, don't react, respond. That's first. And I think my friend Daphne
have an exit strategy.
Daphne Jones, great author, by the way, and great consultant and board lady. But she just said reacting. I was already made a note about that. Don't react, respond. React is negative. Respond is positive. Respond positively with some positive words, some positive comments. And then if you have to have that critical, crucial, courageous conversation, start with being friendly. Hey, I want to talk to you. And 2, be frank about how that made me feel. When you said this or when you said that, it hurt my feelings. Because they might not know. Now, they might not care, but at least you have told them. Then be fair. Why do you do that? Or why did you say that? Then they got to give you an answer. They want to do.
Do you think 30 years down the pike is too late to say, why do you behave this way?
No. Look, as I told somebody who was bemoaning the fact that they wasted a lot of years, I said, when's the best time to plant a tree that takes 80 years to grow?
80 years.
80 years ago. When's the second best time?
Right now.
Right now. Okay. So yes, it would have been good if they had stopped this 30 years ago and not let it build up.
They might not have had the courage.
They didn't have the courage.
Now
they
she's
hoped
at her wits' end.
Yeah, they hoped it would change. Or they let it go. We let stuff go, folks. We all do. We let it go. And sometimes you need to let it go, just like what you said. But sometimes you need to address it and confront and not confront with evil, mad. Be friendly. Be frank about how I made you feel. Be fair and be focused on a win-win.
Can I add, because we're almost out of time?
We got 1 minute. Go ahead.
Additional resources, because just talking about it and sharing information is not enough. You have to read and study and become more immersed in it. So, Psychology Today magazine articles are really very good for getting us to think and to get inside of our heads. The Gottman Institute has a blog on managing in-law relationships. How about that? The Gottman Institute blog on managing in-law relationships. That's pretty cool.
That's good.
And then the Harvard Review has different pieces. The Harvard Business Review on dealing with difficult personalities. How about that?
I like it.
Did I do good?
You did good.
Oh, then
I want to throw something that I thought about. Go ahead, do one more thing.
Okay. And then one good book to read, which I had not heard of, was Boundaries by Dr. Henry Cloud. And it says it's a classic for setting healthy emotional limits. I say, oh,
okay.
I'm gonna download that.
What I thought about yesterday, we were at a conference and
this weekend from Thursday to Sunday.
And the hotel we were at was so wonderful. The food was fantastic. The service was fantastic. And it was a great place in terms of, and I'd like to know how many of you be willing to come to DC for a marriage conference. And we do it at the hotel. Okay, a Friday, maybe a Friday and a Saturday. Okay, they have a Friday event and a Saturday
and the meeting
event.
room were good.
The meeting room.
The food was delicious.
Food was awesome. It was the best food at a hotel I've had in a long time. So if you're interested in that, and you say I would be interested, and it's right near. It's 5 minutes from the airport.
It's Dulles.
From Dulles Airport, right 5 minutes from Dulles
Airport.
You can get in,
That's
get
a
out.
good idea, honey.
So if you're interested, we were thinking about doing that. I thought about that. I love to find a way to help more people live and live in color. That makes sense? Let's go. We'll see y'all next week. Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. Have a great day on purpose.
Good night.
Good night, y'all.
Jolley out.
Jolley out.
Why do birds suddenly appear every time you are near? Just like me, they long to be close to you.